Top 10 Terrifying Baba Vanga Predictions for 2025. We're already halfway through 2025 year, many once dismissed as just another chapter in time. But for those familiar with the mysterious prophecies of Baba Vanga, this year holds a much deeper, more unsettling meaning. The blind mystic from Bulgaria, known for predicting global shifts decades before they happened, left behind visions that seem to echo through the headlines of today. From strange alliances forming in global politics to whispers of environmental collapse, rising technology, and even contact with beings from beyond 2025 may not be unfolding the way we expected, but in many ways, it's eerily close to what she foresaw. Are we living through the fulfillment of prophecy? Are we simply becoming more aware of the world's deeper patterns? In this video, we'll uncover the top 10 terrifying predictions Baba Vanga made for 2025, not to spark fear, but to reflect on what they might be teaching us about ourselves, our choices, and the future we're still shaping day by day. Let's begin this journey together with open minds and watchful hearts. Number 1. The rise of the dragon superpower. As we look toward 2025, a shadow looms on the global stage, a force Baba Vanga once described cryptically as the dragon rising to power. While some may assume this hints at myth or folklore, many scholars and followers interpret this dragon not as a beast, but as a potent alliance forming between Russia, India, and China. It's not difficult to grasp why this prediction sends ripples through geopolitical analysis today. These three nations each carry immense influence. Russia with its vast natural resources and enduring military presence, India emerging swiftly as a technological powerhouse, and China already leading in global economic and manufacturing clout. If these powers truly joined forces, it could mark a dramatic shift in the world order, not built on democratic ideals or Western influence, but on a new axis of control that could challenge what many take for granted about global leadership. This doesn't just mean new trade routes or diplomatic tensions, it implies a fundamental shift in how global decisions are made, whose voices are heard, and whose interests are prioritized. When such a bloc forms, other powerful nations like the United States, members of the European Union, and their allies will undoubtedly respond, perhaps not with open warfare, but through intense diplomatic standoffs, economic strategies, and perhaps more ominously, indirect conflicts like cyber warfare or proxy battles in vulnerable regions. Baba Vanga's visions suggest that this isn't just about politics, it's about balance. When the scales tip, history has shown us again and again that chaos often follows. For those of us living our everyday lives, raising families, planning careers, and striving for peace, this might feel distant, but it's not. The rise of a new superpower bloc affects global markets, job security, technological access, and even the stories we see in the news. It's a reminder that while we can't control the tides of global politics, we can stay informed, grounded, and mindful. As individuals, we should not give in to fear, but rather cultivate inner clarity and compassion amidst uncertainty. When the world feels like it's shifting beneath our feet, we must anchor ourselves in values that don't change: kindness, wisdom, and cooperation. Instead of falling into despair or panic about what might happen if the dragon rises, we can ask ourselves, how can I bring peace into my own home, my community, and my thoughts? Because while nations may clash and alliances form and dissolve, the peace we create within ourselves can ripple outward in powerful ways. Number 2. Population collapse in Europe. Let's take a moment to think about Europe's rich history, its thriving cities, its diverse cultures. Now picture all of that slowly unraveling, not from natural aging or slow decline, but from a wave of disruption so strong that it drives millions away. That's the chilling prediction made by the blind mystic Baba Vanga. According to her, Europe in 2025 could be on the brink of a population collapse, not merely from fewer births, but from something far more drastic: mass displacement caused by conflict, war, and societal breakdown. What does it mean when a whole continent, known for its stability and prosperity, begins to see its cities empty out, its people fleeing for safer ground? Baba Vanga's vision paints a picture of chaos leading to exodus. People, desperate and afraid, would leave their homes behind, seeking peace elsewhere. Refugees would pour out from cities that were once alive with culture and innovation, now reduced to eerie silence and crumbling buildings. This isn't just about demographics or statistics, it's about the human cost of conflict, the trauma of leaving your homeland, the uncertainty of starting over in a strange place. Imagine a place like Paris, Rome, or Berlin turning into a ghost town, not because people no longer loved their cities, but because those cities could no longer keep them safe. Baba Vanga's warning suggests that wars and internal strife could become so intense that people would no longer see a future there. It's a haunting image that should make us pause. What would it take for that kind of mass movement to happen? What conditions would drive so many people away from everything they've ever known? And what does it say about how we're living today? Are we listening to each other, or are we constantly finding reasons to fight and divide? Are we creating systems that protect the vulnerable, or are we ignoring the warning signs? Europe, in this vision, is not just suffering from fewer babies being born, it's suffering from a loss of hope, a loss of peace, and a loss of unity. These are the deeper issues we're being asked to confront. Even if one doesn't fully believe in prophecies, these kinds of predictions offer us a chance to reflect. How do we treat one another? How do we care for the communities we live in? Are we building bridges, or are we burning them? If we don't act with compassion and foresight, if we allow fear and hatred to take root, we may find ourselves facing the kind of future Baba Vanga foresaw, not just in Europe, but anywhere in the world. So ask yourself, what kind of future are we creating today by the choices we make? Are we promoting peace or fueling division? The message here is not about fear, it's about responsibility. It's about waking up and recognizing that every act of kindness matters, that building understanding is more powerful than any wall, and that true safety lies not in exclusion, but in connection. Let this prediction be a reminder. When we neglect peace, we risk losing the very places we call home. Let's choose a different path rooted in wisdom, empathy, and collective care. Number 3. Natural disasters will escalate. One of Baba Vanga's chilling forecasts for 2025 revolves around nature itself, turning fiercer rising up in ways that might shake us, not only physically, but emotionally and spiritually. She spoke of a year where natural disasters won't just be seasonal inconveniences, they could become world-changing events. Her vision hinted at the awakening of long, silent volcanoes, massive floods swallowing entire communities, and violent earthquakes, especially striking along vulnerable regions like the US West Coast. Can you picture the earth trembling beneath your feet not just once, but over and over, as if the planet itself were restless and angry? In recent years, we've seen warning signs that perhaps we're already stepping into what Baba Vanga foresaw. Wildfires in California have grown more aggressive and unpredictable, scorching forests, homes, and lives in their path. The air chokes with smoke, skies turn an eerie orange, and entire towns are left in ashes. People are trying to make sense of it all. Some believe these fires are purely natural. Others whisper about human involvement, even arson. But beyond pointing fingers, what matters most is asking ourselves, are we prepared for what may come next? What can we learn from these early signs of a planet under pressure? Natural disasters, while terrifying, also reflect a deeper message, one about our relationship with the Earth. In moments of crisis, we're reminded how fragile human life is and how interconnected we are with our environment. When rivers flood or mountains erupt, it doesn't matter what country you're from or what you believe in, we all face the same fear and uncertainty, and that's where wisdom must begin. Are we listening to what nature is trying to tell us? Are we treating the Earth with care, or simply taking without giving back? As we look ahead to 2025, Baba Vanga's warning isn't meant to create fear, but awareness. Whether you believe in her prophecies or not, they invite us to pause and reflect. What would happen if tomorrow everything changed? How would you respond, not just for yourself, but for your family, your neighbors, your world? Would you be ready, not just with supplies, but with compassion, resilience, and presence of mind? Let this be the lesson. The storms outside often mirror the storms within. If the earth shakes, let us be the ones who stay grounded. If the sky darkens, let us be the light. Natural disasters can destroy, yes, but they can also awaken something powerful in USA, deeper sense of unity, of purpose, and of care. The real message is not about fear, but about taking responsibility. We can't always prevent what's coming, but we can prepare our hearts, our homes, and our communities to face it with courage and compassion. If you've made it this far, you're already curious about the mysteries the future might hold. Comment below with "Fearless Future" to show you're ready to face whatever 2025 brings. Don't click away just yet, there's still more to uncover about Baba Vanga's chilling visions. Stay with us till the end to explore all 10 predictions and what they could mean for our world. Number 4. Massive environmental collapse. Now let's talk about something deeply unsettling, something that might not come in the form of a single dramatic event, but rather as a slow, devastating unraveling of the world as we know it. A massive environmental collapse. Baba Vanga, the mysterious blind mystic whose prophecies have stirred awe and fear for decades, warned that the Earth could one day face a kind of environmental devastation that makes today's climate problems feel like mild warnings. When we think about her vision, it paints a picture of the Earth being overwhelmed by nature's fury floods, swallowing cities, wildfires devouring forests, earthquakes shaking the very ground we stand on. It's not just about one disaster, it's the terrifying idea that all these forces could hit at once, like a chain reaction set off by our own negligence. You and I both know that climate change is no longer a distant theory, it's our daily reality. Scientists are already seeing more intense storms, hotter temperatures, rising sea levels, and vanishing species. Now, let's pause and ask ourselves, if the current pace continues, what kind of world are we handing down to the next generation? Could Baba Vanga's vision be more than just a mystical warning? Could it be a reflection of the very path we're walking right now? As Buddhist wisdom teaches, if you want to know the future, look at what you are doing in the present. That's powerful, isn't it? It reminds us that the future isn't written in stone, it's shaped by every action we take or fail to take. Think about the delicate balance of nature. Our forests, oceans, animals, and even the air we breathe are connected. What happens if those natural threads begin to break one by one? Could our forests disappear, taking with them the creatures that call them home? Could our oceans rise up, not as life-giving waters, but as powerful waves of destruction? When you hear news of wildfires in places that once were cool, or floods in cities that never used to worry about water, do you feel it too, that quiet fear that we might be reaching a tipping point? Buddha once said, "Just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life." This isn't just about saving trees or stopping pollution, it's about a deeper kind of awareness. Are we living in a way that honors the earth, or are we burning through it as if there's always more? These are not just environmental questions, they're spiritual ones, moral ones. And perhaps that's what makes Baba Vanga's warning so powerful. It speaks not only to the fate of the planet, but to the choices we must make as caretakers of this fragile world. So let me ask you, what kind of future do you believe in? Are we headed toward the collapse she foresaw, or can we change course through compassion, wisdom, and courage? This isn't about fear, it's about awakening. And perhaps the greatest act of hope is to begin, right now, to live in a way that respects all life. After all, though one may conquer 1,000 men in battle, he who conquers himself is the greatest warrior. If we can conquer our habits of destruction, our addiction to comfort and excess, maybe, just maybe, we can rewrite the future Baba Vanga warned us about. Number 5. Discovery of a new clean energy source. Amid all the eerie and unsettling forecasts tied to Baba Vanga's prophecies, one prediction stands out like a beacon of hope, a discovery that could reshape our entire world for the better. According to her vision, the year 2025 holds the potential for a revolutionary breakthrough in clean energy. Not just a slight improvement or a new gadget, but the discovery of an entirely new energy source, one that's clean, limitless, and utterly transformative. Imagine living in a world where power doesn't come with pollution, and where energy is no longer a commodity fought over, but something as abundant as air itself. This isn't just about brighter homes or faster cars. It's about lifting the burden of fossil fuel dependency, reducing the carbon footprint that's been choking our planet, and stepping into a new era where innovation aligns with sustainability. In today's world, where the cost of living continues to rise and the environment continues to suffer under the weight of industrial demands, such a discovery couldn't be more timely. We see the signs all around: use unpredictable weather patterns, melting ice caps, and polluted skies. We also feel the daily struggles of paying high electricity bills, worrying about gas prices, and reading headline after headline about energy shortages or geopolitical conflicts centered on oil. So if 2025 truly brings a source of energy that is both infinite and clean, it might be more than just a scientific achievement. It might be the dawn of a global healing process. But let's not wait passively, hoping for a miracle. This is also a call to shift our mindset. As we inch closer to that possibility, we must also ask ourselves, are we ready to embrace it? Are we building the kind of world where such a discovery can be used wisely, shared fairly, and protected from exploitation? The idea of a clean energy future also encourages us to take small steps right now, investing in solar power for our homes, supporting policies that prioritize the environment, and teaching our children to respect the natural world. Even in our everyday decisions, from the way we travel to the way we consume goods, we can contribute to a global culture of sustainability. And while it's tempting to dream of alien technology or a scientific marvel falling into our laps, the truth is, many of the tools we need are already within reach. What we need is the collective will to use them wisely. Baba Vanga's prediction doesn't just offer hope, it offers a challenge to grow into a species that no longer destroys what it depends on, but instead lives in harmony with the earth. So as we ponder the mystery of this potential energy breakthrough, let's remember that even the most powerful discoveries are only as good as the hearts and minds that wield them. The future may be uncertain, but with a blend of innovation, responsibility, and compassion, we might just be able to turn this prophecy into one of humanity's greatest triumphs. Number 6. AI will disrupt human jobs. Let's talk about something that feels less like a distant prophecy and more like a headline from today: Baba Vanga's chilling prediction that artificial intelligence will start to deeply disrupt human society by 2025. According to her, AI wouldn't just be another helpful tool. It would reach a level where it could begin replacing a wide range of human jobs. And here we are, already watching this shift happen right before our eyes. Think about it. AI isn't just stuck in science labs anymore. It's answering customer service calls, recommending movies, driving cars, even writing poems and painting pictures. What used to be uniquely human spaces are now being explored by machines. So ask yourself, how much of what we do is truly irreplaceable? Now, let's be real, this isn't about blaming technology. After all, humans created AI to make life easier, right? But the question now becomes, are we ready for the pace at which it's changing everything around us? How do we prepare ourselves, not just to survive, but to thrive in a world where machines are learning faster than ever? When Baba Vanga foresaw this disruption, maybe it wasn't just a warning about job losses, it might have been a wake-up call to evolve, to shift our focus toward what truly makes us human. Think empathy, creativity, ethics, qualities that machines still can't replicate in a meaningful way. Let's consider the emotional and societal impact too. Losing a job to automation isn't just an economic blow, it affects identity, purpose, and dignity. When your role in society gets taken over by a machine, it can feel like being erased. But that's exactly why we need to ask deeper questions. What does work really mean to us? Is it only about earning money, or is it also about contributing, connecting, and growing? And if some jobs vanish, can we build a society that supports people in finding new roles, perhaps even more meaningful ones? There's also a spiritual aspect to this. In Buddhist philosophy, change is a natural part of life. It's called anicca, the impermanence of all things. This disruption might feel frightening, but what if we looked at it through the lens of transformation rather than destruction? Could this shift push us to discover hidden talents, to work in harmony with machines rather than fear them, to redefine success beyond just productivity? So now, pause and reflect. How can you stay grounded and wise in the face of such rapid change? What are the skills, values, and strengths you carry that no AI can imitate? And most importantly, how can we, as a society, ensure that technological progress doesn't come at the cost of human dignity and compassion? At the heart of this prediction lies a valuable lesson. No matter how advanced machines become, our greatest power lies in our humanity. It's not the intelligence of AI that should define our future, it's the wisdom of how we choose to respond. If you're still watching, you clearly sense that something big might be on the horizon. Type Eyes Open 2025 in the comments to show you're alert and prepared. Don't miss the Re-Stitch prediction, reveals a piece of a puzzle we're all a part of. Number 7. Contact with Extraterrestrials. One of Baba Vanga's most curious and spine-tingling predictions for 2025 is the idea that humanity will finally make contact with extraterrestrial life, not just rumors, not just blurry videos of strange lights in the sky, but a full-scale, undeniable encounter that leaves no room for doubt. While this may sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, it's worth noting how much talk of UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, has entered mainstream conversation lately, even being addressed by governments and military personnel. Some argue that contact has already happened behind closed doors, but according to Vanga's vision, what's coming is something far more public and impactful, an event that will shift the global perspective overnight. And here's where it gets even more strange. She supposedly hinted that this groundbreaking moment would occur during a major sporting event, something as widely watched and culturally significant as the World Cup or the Super Bowl. This detail gives a hauntingly theatrical feel to the prediction, almost as if these beings are waiting for a moment when humanity is collectively watching, perhaps to ensure we're all paying attention. But before we let our imaginations run wild with flying saucers and alien parades, let's step back and reflect on what this could truly mean. Vanga's mention of a potential global crisis or even an apocalypse might sound terrifying, but we need to understand the word apocalypse not just as the end of the world, but as a revelation, a moment of truth, a great unveiling. If contact were to happen, it would undoubtedly challenge everything we know about life, our place in the universe, and possibly even our spiritual and religious beliefs. For many, that could be deeply unsettling. For others, it could open up profound new ways of thinking, perhaps even a deeper sense of unity among people as we come to terms with not being alone. And in today's world divided by conflict, political tension, and environmental strain, shared experience of this magnitude could either heighten our fears or inspire a long overdue sense of togetherness. It's all about how we choose to respond. For those of us between the ages of 30 and 65 who've lived through enormous technological changes and witnessed the world becoming smaller through digital connection, this prediction might not seem as far-fetched as it once did. We've seen the impossible become normal: video calls across the world, AI in our homes, private companies reaching space. So maybe, just maybe, the idea of other life forms reaching out isn't something to dread, but a sign that we're evolving into a new chapter of existence. Still, whether you believe in extraterrestrial life or not, this prediction reminds us to stay curious, to remain open-minded, and above all, to seek understanding rather than fear. In our everyday lives, that can mean being willing to learn from people who are different from us, questioning what we take for granted, and embracing mystery rather than resisting it. Because contact, whether with other beings or simply with deeper truths, often comes when we least expect it, and it's our response that will shape what happens next. Number 8. Breakthroughs in lab-grown organs. Let's take a closer look at one of Baba Vanga's most fascinating predictions for 2025, the breakthrough in lab-grown organs. Now, I want you to really think about this. What if the fear of waiting endlessly on an organ transplant list could be a thing of the past? According to Baba Vanga, this could be the year when medical science takes a giant leap forward, allowing doctors to grow organs in laboratories that are tailored exactly to a patient's body. It's not just science fiction anymore. We're already seeing real progress. Scientists have successfully grown human skin, blood vessels, and even simpler organ structures in controlled environments. But the idea that by 2025 we might see working kidneys, hearts, or lungs being produced in labs and then safely transplanted into people who need them, that's a level of hope that could transform healthcare as we know it. Think for a moment how many lives could be saved if people didn't have to rely on finding a matching donor. What would it mean to a child waiting for a heart, or an elderly person hoping for one more chance at life with a new kidney? The emotional weight of such a breakthrough is enormous. It's not just about extending life, it's about restoring quality of life, giving people back time with their loved ones, and reducing the painful uncertainty that surrounds organ transplants today. This prediction also brings up bigger questions. Will society handle such a leap in technology? Will access be fair and equal, or will it become a luxury only the wealthy can afford? What ethical challenges will arise when we start producing organs as if they were products? And perhaps most importantly, how will this impact our understanding of mortality and aging? Some researchers even go as far as saying that if these lab-grown organs become reliable and accessible, we could potentially see humans living well beyond 100, some estimate up to 120 years or more. But longevity isn't just about adding years to life, it's about adding life to those years. Could you picture yourself at 110, still healthy, active, and able to enjoy life simply because your organs could be refreshed or replaced like worn-out parts? The thought is both exciting and humbling. These developments push us to think beyond what we believed was possible, and they open the door to reimagining what it means to live a full life. So as we consider Baba Vanga's bold vision for 2025, ask yourself, how would your life or the lives of people you care about change if this prediction came true? Would it bring hope, relief, or perhaps even a bit of fear? These are the kinds of questions that remind us that the future isn't just something that happens to use. It's something we shape with the choices we make today, especially when it comes to science, ethics, and compassion. Number 9. Human telepathy becomes possible. Now let's explore one of Baba Vanga's most fascinating and perhaps most hopeful predictions for 2025. The rise of human telepathy. Yes, you heard that right. According to the legendary Bulgarian mystic, by this very year, we might begin communicating not through words or screens, but directly from mind to mind. No more texting back late, no more misunderstood tone in emails, and no more awkward video calls. Instead, you'd simply think a thought, and someone else perhaps halfway across the world would receive it, just like that. Sound unbelievable? Well, let's take a closer look. In our fast-evolving world of technology, we're already brushing up against the edges of this idea. For instance, Elon Musk's company Neuralink has implanted brain-computer interface chips into people that allow them to interact with digital devices using only their thoughts. These individuals have been able to move cursors, play video games, and even create simple 3D models just by thinking. That's not science fiction anymore. It's happening right now. While this is still communication between a brain and a machine, the next step could be brain-to-brain interaction. So ask yourself, if we can already link thoughts to technology, is it really so far-fetched to imagine linking thoughts directly to other people? This idea touches something deep in the human heart, the longing to truly understand and be understood. Think of all the conflicts, all the pain, all the broken relationships caused by miscommunication. What if that barrier could disappear? What if we could share pure understanding, free of language or judgment? A Buddhist teaching reminds us, words have the power to both destroy and heal. When words are both true and kind, they can change our world. Now imagine bypassing even words and reaching directly into that truth and kindness. Would this new form of communication bring us closer together, or would it overwhelm us with too much access to each other's private thoughts? How would you feel knowing someone could potentially hear your thoughts, not your carefully chosen words, but your raw inner world? This prediction isn't just about technology. It's a mirror held up to human evolution. It asks us not just what we can do, but what we should do. Are we ready, emotionally and ethically, to handle such power? Can our compassion, our mindfulness, our awareness of others' suffering grow to match our digital progress? As the Buddha said, with our thoughts, we make the world. If that's true, then the power to share thoughts directly could be the most beautiful, the most dangerous development in human history. What kind of world would we create if our minds could truly touch? Let this prediction stir your curiosity, not just about what's coming, but about who we are becoming. The future may bring new tools, but only wisdom will show us how to use them well. Number 10. Overall outlook. A year of transformation. 2025 is whispered by some to be a year like no other era, turning point hanging delicately between unprecedented transformation and potential turmoil. Baba Vanga's visions for this year evoke a powerful mixture of dread and hope, suggesting that humanity stands at a crossroads. One path may lead us into chaos through war, societal collapse, or even contact with otherworldly beings, while the other could offer stunning advances in medicine, sustainable energy, and groundbreaking technology. It's the kind of duality that can make our hearts race caught between fear of the unknown and the possibility of a better world. This tension reminds us of a Buddhist saying, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." In this context, if our collective mindset leans toward peace, cooperation, and innovation, perhaps these dark forecasts may shift into opportunities for growth. Yet if we allow division, greed, and violence to dominate, then the more terrifying elements of the prophecy might come to pass. It's a potent reminder that our choices, even the small ones made daily, contribute to the larger future we are shaping. The idea of war and collapse isn't just about governments and global power. It's reflected in how we treat each other, how we manage stress, and how we react in moments of crisis. If we respond with mindfulness and compassion, we strengthen the resilience needed to withstand challenges. On the other hand, the promise of medical miracles and clean energy isn't just science fiction. It is already beginning to emerge in our world today. People are surviving diseases once considered fatal, and technologies are being developed that could allow us to live healthier, more connected lives with less harm to the planet. As the Dalai Lama once said, "Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive." That truth echoes louder than ever in times like these. We can prepare for whatever 2025 may bring, not just by looking outward, but by strengthening our inner world, cultivating kindness, clarity, and courage. Whether or not the predictions come true in literal form, the emotional and moral weight they carry is real, nudging us to live with more purpose and presence. If 2025 is to be a year of transformation, let it begin not with fear, but with a vow to transform ourselves. The way we think, the way we speak, the way we act, these are the tools that will determine whether we rise or fall. In this light, every moment becomes sacred, every interaction a chance to choose peace over conflict, growth over despair. The future isn't fixed, it is a mirror of our present intentions, and the seeds we plant today will bloom or wither in the garden of tomorrow. As we've seen, Baba Vanga's predictions for 2025 carry both awe and unease, painting a picture of a world on the edge of incredible change. Whether you see these visions as prophecy or metaphor, one thing is clear. They invite us to reflect on how we live, what we value, and how we shape our shared future. Let us meet the unknown, not with fear, but with mindfulness, compassion, and courage. Remember, even in a world of uncertainty, our choice rooted in wisdom can light the path ahead. If this journey has sparked your curiosity or inspired new thoughts, please support our channel. Like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to The Journey of Wisdom. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming explorations into the mysteries of life and the lessons of ancient insight. Thank you for watching. May you walk with peace, awareness, and an open heart until we meet again.